Well, good morning. It's an exciting week. Anytime you have the opportunity to be part of a big rivalry game, it's always exciting, and certainly we'll have our work cut out for us this week. The University of Georgia is probably as hot as anybody in college football right now, having won 9 games in a row, and they're really playing well. I think statistically their defense is ranked in pretty much every category, and so they've got a heck of a football team. So we're looking forward to the challenge on Saturday, and I know it's a big game for both sets of alumni and fans and everybody in the state. You have to pick a side. Nobody gets to kind of remain neutral. So ought to be a lot of fun on Saturday. Yep.
You mentioned the defensive rankings for Georgia, obviously one that just jumps out. You know, you've got number 2 rushing offense. They've got number 2 rushing defense. Do you get is that a little kick for you there, the motivation to match up like that?
I don't know about motivation. I mean, you're motivated to play Georgia. I mean, they got a good team and a good program. So we're gonna do what we do, and I'm sure they're gonna do what they do. So the rankings are not gonna change any of that.
Just to follow up on that, as you compared to what you saw at this time last year,
same guys.
What's the difference? Because obviously their stats are a lot different.
They're playing hard. They're playing fast. Jarvis Jones is a really good player. Other than that, it's pretty much the same guys up front. I mean, they're playing different spots, but a lot of the same teams, same guys that played a year ago.
Have you learned anything about the rivalry since you've been here at all? Anything stand out about you?
No, I mean, I don't know that there's anything. I mean, you know, it's a rivalry. It's like anything else. I mean, wherever you are, there's usually a rival. Each one's a little bit different. But there's no question that both sides want to win.
They have obviously a big game coming up after the game this week.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts at all in terms of how that affects you guys this week, or do you think it gives you any sort of advantage?
No, it doesn't affect us at all. You know, this is I think most people get ready for the game at hand, and I've been in this profession for a long time. I think that's more that the people who talk about it gives them something to talk about that they can overlook, and they can. But you know, you just talked about what a rivalry game is. I don't think anybody's going to be overlooking anybody in a rivalry game. I think both sides will try to get ready to play.
Coach, in the offseason, when you go to these caravans throughout the state and fans tell you how to coach and offer you friendly advice, do you get a sense from your fan base that they would rather beat Georgia than compete for an ACC championship?
I think it varies from individual to individual. You know, I've said before, I think most fans just want to win once a week. If you can do that, then that's good. It doesn't matter who you play. But certainly in a rivalry game, I'm sure they want to win. I mean, everybody who's involved wants to win. I can assure you that our players want to win just like their players want to win, and coaches and everybody else. So I think that part of it gets overblown a little bit.
You've played some pretty good defensive line this year. Where does Georgia's fit in the mix?
I don't know. We'll see after the game. You know, we've played some really good players. I mean, Quinn Coples is a first-round draft pick. Brandon Thompson's a pretty good player, so they got some good players too. But I mean, this won't be the first good players we've seen now.
Any injury updates on Orwin?
Yeah, he's good to go, I think.
Preston?
Good to go.
Stephen Hill also?
I think so. No more after practice today, but we're assuming we're going to have all those guys.
Home field make a difference at all?
I don't know. You know, it's it could, I guess, but it hasn't. It hasn't made a big difference. Like I said, this is my fourth game being here, and they've all been pretty close games, whether they've been in Athens or whether they've been here. There really hadn't been, I guess, last year was the biggest point total, but it was really a 1-point game until the end. So they've all been fairly close games and all gone right down to the fourth quarter, no matter where they've been since I've been here.
I'm curious, obviously, with seniors, you know, they probably a lot of them made their decisions about where they're going, high school seniors, I mean. But do you get any sense that this game affects younger players about, you know, maybe even in a junior high about when they're trying to pick who do I want to follow, that kind of thing?
I doubt it. It possibly could, but I doubt it. Again, I don't think that has a whole lot to do with where guys decide to go to school.
As for your seniors, so this is their final game here at Bobby Dow. Can you talk about what they meant to you and this collective group of seniors you have?
Yeah, well, it's a small group, but like anything, it's always emotional because, and especially this group because they've been here with us from the start. And we've seen a lot of ups and highs and a few lows along the way, but they've stayed with the program, and we'll see how this year finishes out. But they have a chance to be a part of a pretty good stretch, over their 4 years. If we can find a way to win in a couple more games, they'll have accomplished a lot, I think, over their career. So they've been pretty special to Georgia Tech.
The playing a game and a half without Orwin maybe was a little different than the last few years because you've got so much balance. You've got like 5 guys with 370 yards or more. Is that the different look to there not just being one dominant lead guy? Was that something that you expected in the preseason, or is just how it's developed?
I just think it's the nature of what we do. Orwin's a really good player, and we're very hopeful that we got him back for the game. But Embry filled in last week, and he pretty much did about the same. So it's a situation where those guys have taken advantage of their opportunities when they get the ball, and we feel like we've got more than a couple guys that can play.
Tyler has, I think, 7 catches in the last 3 games. He's obviously he does a lot of other things for you. But is he doing anything in particular to be more part of the passing game?
Well, I think he's made some big catches. I mean, he's he's come down with it in the second half of the Duke game. I mean, Stephen Hill wasn't out there, and he kind of became the go-to guy. But again, we haven't gone out of our way to get one guy the ball, the other guy the ball. It's just kind of the nature of what happens. But when the ball's gone his way, he's made a couple nice catches and come down with it. And he's blocked very well the last few games. He's probably playing his best football the last 2 or 3 games.
Coach, Aaron Murray set a school record for Georgia this year in passing for them touchdowns. What does he do well?
Well, he throws the ball well. I mean, he's a talented young man. He's got a really good tight end. The Charles kid's a good player. They're kind of receiver by committee more so now than maybe they were with A.J. Green, but they're very talented. The Mitchell kid, the freshman, is very, very good. So he's got some good targets, and they've been efficient when they throw. They've been able to run the ball enough that they can set up, and they've been able to protect him during this stretch, and he's had some big games.
Do you have much interaction with bowl representatives at all, or is that more above your?
Just to say hi to them when they come to the games. Through social functions and stuff through the year, you kind of know who they are. But Not really. There's not a whole lot of lobbying or any of that goes on with bowl games. It's pretty much cut and dried, I think. They all know who they want, and it's just a question of does it work out that way.
Maybe your players expressed any desire about we want to go here.
We hadn't thought anything about it. I mean, they know that the more, if they can keep winning, the priority will change, and but we really don't ask the players where they want to go. It really just doesn't work like that.
You talked about their tight end, Charles. How does playing against a dynamic tight end like that affect a defense?
Well, I think you just have to watch for the guy, but you can't do anything special for him. I mean, the thing that he can do is he can do some things that wide receivers can do. He can get downfield deep. He's got good hands. He's a good player, but we played against other tight ends that are good players. I mean, the guy from Clemson is probably a really good player. He's probably an early round draft pick in the NFL. Last year, North Carolina's had a good tight end. The guy at NC State's supposed to be a draftable tight end. I mean, we've played against good guys. I don't know if we've played against any as versatile as he is with the kind of speed he has, but he's a good player.
What are you thankful for, and what do you wish you were thankful for?
Gosh, I'm thankful for a lot of things outside of football. I mean, I've been blessed in a lot of ways. I've got a fairly lucrative job that helps support my family. I'm thankful for health. For the most part, our family's healthy. We've got a zillion things to be thankful for on that line. And when things get tough sometimes, you have to just step back and look. And I tell guys all the time, assistant coaches, you can get frustrated with playing or whatever. There's 120 guys that get to do what I do. It's not that many. And if there's a lot of people who would love to have my job, I'm fortunate enough to have it. And so I think you have to be thankful for all those things. There's a lot of people less fortunate than we are.
Since it's coming up on the last game of the regular season, can you summarize where you are defensively and where you would hope to be right now?
Well, I don't know that the defense is any different than the team as a whole. I mean, it's been up and down. Certainly we haven't played with the kind of consistency that we'd like. I don't know that you're ever going to be satisfied until you're holding people to no points or 10 points or something like that. So it's always a work in progress. I think we've played in spurts, and we've done enough to win 8 games. We'll see if we can win some more.
Have you seen the younger players? You have a very young team this year, and that may have something to do with the kind of ups and downs this year. But have you seen it start to level off as the guys have got more experience, or does it still seem like a very young team to you?
Well, I think that most of the guys who have played this year now have a year of experience. I mean, you're towards the end of the year. If you look at what class they're in and how much they had played, I think we had a really, really young team, and we've got a lot of sophomores playing. If you look, if everybody comes back, I guess we'll have 9 starters back on offense next year, and you'll probably have 7 or 8 on defense. So you got a good nucleus of guys coming back. I think guys mature at different levels. You can see guys change as they get older and stronger and bigger. They get more mature and they understand. But that's a hard one to answer. I think you'd have to answer each person individually, really.